Well, we have an interesting turn of events in terms of the world stage, especially in terms of China. After this meeting with Trump, it seems that China is actually doing things here, working with the United States. And if you guys missed it, Trump basically put the cards on the table and said, look, we will give you guys a better trade deal if you can help us solve the issue with North Korea. So in turn, what have we had? We've had China reject North Korean coal shipments en masse. Like over 2 million tons stranded at ports as they now proceed to buy from the United States. So this was basically part business as well as Trump just negotiated a huge deal on the coal. And basically, China took it in this sense and said, all right, we'll come through you for the coal. We're going to shut them down. Then we have this, China threatening to bomb North Korea's nuclear facilities if it crosses Beijing's bottom line. Now, what is interesting is when some big-time reports get out there and catch wind out of Beijing, sometimes communist China will clamp down and just remove the information. It's happened many times before. There was reports of 150-some thousand troops on the border, but we didn't have any proof. But then we got a video clip of like a 10-second clip of massive amounts of Chinese troops building up. It was a newer clip, but we did not know where. So we couldn't say for sure if it was on the border or anything like that. But now we have China basically threatening North Korea, saying we're going to take out your facilities if you cross our bottom line. So what is China's bottom line? They're basically saying that through your illicit nuclear testing, that if either one of these two things happen, either nuclear leakage or pollution, if it floats back into northeastern China, they're saying they're going to level anything they've got going on. Now think about it like this. They're concerned, and they don't want the United States launching the missiles in here, to be honest with you, because if they take out certain places and big, massive chemical plumes go up in the air, well, the United States isn't going to be downwind from this, obviously. It's going to drift either toward the south or toward the north, moving east as well. But the ocean water versus here in this country, where everything blows in on the west coast, if any wind is blowing in on the coast over there, it could push it back in. You're really going to have to look at the particular weather patterns for that day if that was to ever happen. But China is very aware of this. And what they've said is this. Basically, if you allow anything like this to happen, to put China in jeopardy, period, whatsoever, at risk at all, then we're going to launch strikes and we're going to come with force. Now, think about this. If that's their concern, then they're going to have to be very careful with what they're targeting, because they don't want to hit something and then have that plume come back into their face. So what I would see them doing in this instance is literally, if Kim Jong-un allows this, I could see them getting very ticked off and just start eliminating all of his key positions. You talk about decapitation strikes, taking him out of the picture, a thorn in their side, would work for them, in my opinion. But this is the thing. Then what? Is China going to move in to try to back some puppet government, or are they going to let the United States cross the border from South Korea come in and establish a puppet government? You see, and do you ever think that caught in the middle of this, these North Korean people are ever going to have a fair chance for establishing true peace and having a non-dictator in power? Well, that's where it sits thus far. I just wanted to let folks know that China is turning the table, so to speak, in certain ways, especially by cutting off the whole coal production, threatening to attack. And this is legitimate, even if China wants to deny this. Because a lot of times China will have information pumped out, and then if somebody doesn't like it, they'll have them bring it down. No matter what, they'll censor it. Bottom line is this. It is a legitimate excuse for China to make a move. If they really feel that a nuclear explosion or fallout is going to come back into their country, then that is legitimate for them to make a move. But in terms of how they do it with the strikes, is a whole different ballgame. We see too many innocent people killed out there in the battlefield. And, the people in North Korea have been suffering for a long time. But at this point, China is eyeballing this carefully. And I just wanted to put all this information out there and let it be known that they've been making moves. And I will continue to update if anything else changes in regards to this. And I will leave links below. It's been Dabu7.